Today on Investigate TV Plus, searching for help when you're locked out of your home or car could leave you trapped in a different kind of nightmare.
Are these locksmiths scammers?
Oh, many of them are. Yes, absolutely.
We uncover the deceptive tactics targeting desperate customers held hostage with higher bills.
If you can't trust your locksmith, it's kind of a scary situation because we are trained to get into places that most people can't.
Plus, we'll break down the signs that could save you hundreds of dollars.
Then, from heartbreak to hope.
I can't imagine life without her, so I'm super grateful that this came into my life.
How adopting an embryo frozen for more than a decade helped one couple finally grow their family.
And from a brush with death to creating unforgettable wedding memories. How brain surgery inspired one businessman to create an unexpected wedding venue.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus. Locking your keys inside your house or car can immediately put you in a precarious position, one often only solved by a locksmith. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell, but our investigation uncovered some could be scammers, taking advantage of your vulnerable situation by charging hundreds, even thousands of dollars more than expected.
It's a problem all across the country, one that's proving difficult to stop. Reporter Kristen Crowley takes an in-depth look at these predatory locksmiths and the signs to look out for so you don't become a victim.
At 70 years old, Enrique Hernandez still goes to work every day. But one day in 2023 sticks out more than most.
As soon as I closed the door, I knew that I didn't have my keys on me.
In a rush to get to his shift on time, he called a Kansas City area locksmith listed online.
24-hour locksmith.
Right away, things got off to a bad start.
And once he opened it up, I told him, well, that's all you need to do because this one was not locked. And he did both.
He was doing unnecessary work.
Absolutely.
And it went from bad to worse.
So I feel maybe $150. It would have been fine with me to pay $150.
The actual total, $1,217.29.
I said, no, this is outrageous. This is way out of line. I go, you gotta be kidding me. I'm not paying that.
A breakdown of the bill shows the locksmith charged nearly $400 per lock. One of them, Enrique says, he didn't even need.
And then when he gave me the bill, that's when I went, okay, I've been had.
And he's not the only one. People all across the country have had this problem, like Leslie Weeks in Utah.
He stripped away a layer of 2.5 inches by 6 inches of the door by pushing too hard on the drill.
How much was the bill?
He initially told us both locks would be $300. And when the job was done, it came to $770.
Another woman in Kansas sent us these photos after she says the locksmith she called kicked in her door and charged her $231 for getting her back inside.
Consumers are desperate when they need a locksmith. You know, they can't get in their car, can't get in their house. And so these individuals prey on that.
Steve Howe is district attorney for Johnson County, Kansas. His office actually investigated what happened to Enrique, as well as several other people, saying predatory locksmiths are a big problem.
They tell them one price and then charge them a considerable more after the work is done and basically hold them hostage.
House says the perpetrators buy ads and sponsorships on Google to make sure they're the first ones who pop up when you search locksmith.
Are these locksmiths scammers?
Oh, many of them are. Yes, absolutely.
But catching them, House says, so far has proved impossible.
We've never been able to track down those individuals. We've seen on a number of occasions where they change their company name when we start investigating or making phone calls. They'll change their phone numbers, they'll change the name of the company, and of course they have no physical address. So it's hard to tie them to the actual acts.
You just type in locksmith near me on Google and about the first 15 to 20 ads that pop up, if they don't have an actual location, it's owned by that scammer.
Zach Wilcox says he knows firsthand how it all works.
You're pretty familiar with locksmith scams.
Yeah.
Why?
I used to work for one.
The person you were working for was paying for multiple Google ads.
Several, like 15 to 20.
Of different company names, but they were all going to the same place.
Yep. I would have to pretend to be whatever locksmith company they thought I was because that's the one they called.
For nearly a year, Zach says no matter what name he operated under, he he was told to charge as much as he could while tacking on unnecessary service fees and taxes.
Start with car lockouts, making me charge people $250 a car lockout. It's pretty insane.
He showed us receipts of the work he used to do.
This guy should have paid $50 tops.
And the windfall that came from it.
Just 9.5 months, I made him $131,000.
What do you think about all this looking back now?
I wish I would have just tried harder to stop it all, because it's just growing and growing.
Part of what makes predatory locksmiths difficult to find is in most states, locksmiths don't need a license or certification. The industry is largely unregulated, meaning there is no paper trail. Only 13 states require locksmiths to have a license. Nebraska was among them until it dropped the law in late 2021 because of problems with the licensure and certification process for locksmiths. Since then, according to the Better Business Bureau Midwest Plains region, which covers Nebraska, locksmith complaints have nearly doubled from 25 in 2022 to 48 by 2024. And it says the problem is likely underreported.
If you can't trust your locksmith, it's kind of a scary situation because we are trained to get into places that most people can't.
Ryan Carlson is a second-generation locksmith. He owns the Lock Doctor in Lee Summit, Missouri. He says in recent years, these predatory locksmiths have ramped up.
It gives, a lot of those legitimate locksmiths a bad name.
Is that hurting your business?
Absolutely.
And Ryan says so is this.
Oftentimes, if you want to look for us, if you're Googling our name, you can type in the Lock Doctor. You can find one that says 24locksmith.io.
That's not you guys.
That's not us.
But that's your name.
That's our name. And if you click on it, it even shows our address, our phone number, our hours. This is not our website.
You guys aren't paying for this.
Not paying for it at all. But if you hit this button over here, that Call Me Now button, that's not us. And so it's a way where they think that it's...
This number is not associated with you guys whatsoever.
Not at all.
So you've got your name, your address, your direct line, but this is the one in big, bold, green.
Correct.
It really sticks out.
This is not hyperlinked at all.
But this number will not go to you guys.
Will not.
So we called that number.
Hi, is this the Lock Doctor?
A woman on the other end tells me no.
I saw this number on a website I was looking for, the Lock Doctor in Lee Summit, Missouri. That's not you guys? They hung up on me.
But the problems don't end there. Some make it look like they have a physical address to seem more legitimate.
There's one just a couple blocks up the road from us that is actually a State Farm agent.
So somebody is using a State Farm address to make it look like they have a legitimate location as a locksmith.
That's correct, yeah.
I felt really devastated.
On Enrique's receipt, there is no name, no phone number, no way to track down who he believes took advantage of him.
What happened to your $1,200?
I lost it.
An expensive lesson to learn, but one Enrique hopes is invaluable to people who hear his story.
Another tip, the Better Business Bureau says you should have a list of numbers to locksmiths before you need them, just like you may have a number to a reputable plumber or electrician on hand.
People often don't think about what locksmith they should call until they need one. And the stress of being locked out can make you more likely to overlook red flags, like a fake address.
You can find a list of accredited locksmiths on the BBB's website.
Still to come, from making a documentary to creating a nonprofit, how a man who grew up in foster care is using his personal experience to help those without a home.
The drive comes from a place of believing that we can actually make a dent in this issue.
But first, despite failed fertility treatments, one couple discovered a path to parenthood. We take an in-depth look at how adopting an embryo could unlock a solution for struggling couples. Most parents will tell you having a child is one of life's greatest gifts, but not every couple can easily conceive.
One option gaining traction among prospective parents: embryo adoption. The process begins when a family donates their extra embryos to a specialized agency set up for adoptions.
Experts say this often happens after in vitro fertilization, when eggs are fertilized in a laboratory, then frozen for future treatment. Any unused eggs are then viable for other families to adopt.
Reporter Stephanie Simoni shows us how, for a couple in Connecticut, the process transformed years of heartbreak into happiness.
We adopt 2-year-old Birdie.
I mean, it's the only job I've ever wanted.
Was conceived.
She's just the greatest thing ever. Such a little light, such a force.
6 years before her parents ever met.
Each day, your light and love beamed brighter.
Her light started a little differently than most. In 2010, her embryo was frozen and donated in Tennessee. And at that same exact time in Connecticut, Anne knew she wanted to be a mother, but she wanted a partner first.
I didn't meet the guy I wanted to have kids with till I was 39.
A yoga class brought Anne to Johnny, and the two married 7 months later in 2017. They tried to have a baby for 5 years, and no luck. She says infertility is heartbreaking and isolating.
You think it's going to work out until it doesn't?
They looked into adoption and stumbled upon embryo adoption.
It's a wonderful organization, and they really care about these little life potentials.
She's talking about the National Embryo Donation Center, or NEDC, in Knoxville, Tennessee.
They are looking for alternatives that satisfy their needs and their consciences about what to do with these embryos.
Jeffrey Keenan is the director of it. He says couples who use IVF to have families will sometimes have leftover embryos.
Realizing these are the sibling embryos of their children and respecting the lives of those embryos themselves, they don't want to discard them or use them in medical research.
So they choose to donate them. When Anne first heard about it,
is this like some kind of science fiction thing, like very futuristic sort of thing, or is this an answered prayer? Because I always wanted to go through childbirth, but I also was very happy to adopt, and so this was a way to kind of do both of those things.
The couple traveled to Tennessee in April of 2021 and sorted through the options.
You have to go through a background check. You have to have someone come and do a house visit.
In July of 2022, 2 embryos were thawed and transferred to Anne's uterus. They were from 2 separate donors. One of them held on and grew. Sunday, April 16th, 2023, Birdie Blue Sky Donovan was born. And from that day, they've been very open about how it all began, even writing her this book.
Every day is, she's learning more and growing and loves being outside. And yeah, it's bringing our family closer too.
Her parents call her the brightest little spot of sunshine.
I can't imagine life without her, so I'm super grateful that this came into my life.
And it's clear her rays and warmth fill this Derby home.
Embryo adoption can be pricey and take time. The National Embryo Donation Center says in most cases, total expenses for a first frozen embryo transfer can cost between $11,000 and $12,000. The process generally takes about 4 to 7 months from when you submit an application to the first transfer.
Still to come, inspiring hope.
Me and my siblings were kind of this miracle story. I had to kind of develop these deeper convictions of, like, how do I give back?
How a former foster care kid is volunteering his time to help people experiencing homelessness.
Then later, jumping the broom by the bourbon shelf and toasting in the champagne aisle. How one New Orleans liquor store is preserving local wedding traditions while also creating new ones. After a decade in foster care and facing homelessness himself, one volunteer in Portland, Oregon wants to be a part of the solution to support people living on the streets.
Reporter Anna Katayama explains how his past inspires his mission to help others find stable housing.
Both my parents at the time had gone to prison.
Michael Larson was 2 years old when he was placed in the foster care system.
We experienced trauma that no kid should ever have to go through in some of the homes that we were staying in.
Between the ages of 2 and 12, Michael and his siblings moved from home to home, living with 7 different foster families. When he turned 12, a single mom with 2 kids of her own adopted Michael and his 2 siblings.
My adopted mom is probably the most important person that's made an impact on my life.
His adoption opened up a world of opportunity. With the help of teachers and other mentors, Michael went on to graduate from Gonzaga University. But he is keenly aware that many kids who age out of foster care end up homeless. Less than 10% get a college degree.
So I had to wrestle with the fact that me and my siblings were kind of this miracle story. I had to kind of develop these deeper convictions of, like, how do I give back? We really just want to greet people and make people feel welcome, hear their stories.
On many Thursday evenings, you will find him under the Burnside Bridge, working alongside an army of volunteers from an organization called City Team. This weekly event is called Night Strike.
This is beautiful.
It is outreach to the homeless.
I think it's incredible. I think it's so needed.
Here comes the good stuff.
There's music, food, clothing, and lots of helping hands. For years now, Patty Burke has shown up with a sewing machine.
This is a skill that I can, help people with. We do a lot of hems. We do a lot of backpack repairs.
There are books to read, even medical care.
We feel like it's what we're supposed to do.
Legacy emergency room physician Amy Kaluza volunteers her time along with nurse practitioners and medical students.
We have everything to do: stitches, staples, draining abscesses. We have kind of a wide array of supplies that mostly people donate, which is awesome.
I'm happy you're in a good spot, Leroy. That's great to hear.
Michael and the volunteers are doing what they can to meet immediate needs, but he is driven to go beyond this first step.
The drive comes from a place of believing that we can actually make a dent in this issue.
He's become singularly focused on the problem. He has started a nonprofit called Humans for Housing, produced a documentary on the issue, and is meeting now with lawmakers to share his vision.
A dream of mine is that we get to this point in our society where we believe that all people deserve a safe and stable place to lay their head at night.
The documentary Larson helped produce is called No Place to Grow Old. Set in Portland, Oregon, it highlights a problem unfolding across America. Adults 55 and older are the fastest growing population entering homelessness.
Up next, celebrating love's next chapter between aisles of alcohol.
I love you forever. I can't wait for every day past this.
We check out the most spirited wedding chapel in New Orleans to see how some couples' I do's are anything but dry. Vodka, voodoo, and wedding vows. Could this be the recipe for a happy marriage?
A Louisiana couple ready to say I do wanted a unique ceremony, so they chose the aisle of a local liquor store.
Tyra Edmond and Ken Neff untraditionally tied the knot at Chuck's on the Avenue in New Orleans, which prides itself as the only liquor store in the world with a wedding chapel.
Welcome, and thank y'all for coming. I started in the police department in 1984. We'll probably have a good day on tequila today. Unfortunately, I had to go in the police department at a young age because my parents became disabled. A lot of people love to drink it.
It's a big day for Chuck Lozier.
But I was always curious about business since I was a little kid.
This former cop turned liquor store owner.
We're very excited about this.
And a happy couple.
How you doing, beautiful?
Ready to make it official.
Hi, I'm Chuck.
It's an idea that came to life after Chuck had a near-death experience.
I had a brain bleed. My whole brain was bleeding. My brain was pushed to the right side, and a surgeon decided he needed to do emergency surgery on me. And the whole time I was under anesthesia, I kept dreaming about broads walking up this aisle in a liquor store.
Oh, mama.
Here comes the bride, y'all.
This was your children.
Tyra in her flowing white gown and Ken in his velvet coat
Johnny get home.
are all smiles for their voodoo-themed wedding. A French Quarter voodoo priestess bringing blessings to the bride and groom. But here at Chuck's, there are many ways to say I do.
A voodoo wedding, pirate wedding, Elvis Presley, Chuck himself. And I'll eat pepperoni and drink wine for you too.
At Chuck's, the alcohol is part of the ambiance.
Whether physically, spiritually, you're always on my mind.
I love you forever, and I can't wait for every day past this. Thank you, my love.
But before popping the cork, Tyra and Ken jump the broom, seal the deal with a kiss, and strike up the band for a traditional New Orleans second-line stroll into their new life. A newly married couple committed to each other and New Orleans culture.
When you're a New Orleanian, you gotta go full New Orleanian.
It's fantastic. Fantastic.
Amazing. Everything you envisioned and more.
And more.
I feel great because I never thought you could really. They make me cry. No, I feel good. This is beautiful.
She has a wonderful spirit, and Ken, he completes her.
The perfect mix of strong and sweet. The kind of happily ever after that money can't buy.
We want people to be married for life like I was, 31 years, and still happy, and hopefully that's what we do for people.
The last stop, the champagne aisle, and a wedding toast. To mark a new beginning, one that's never sour or on the rocks, but always flowing with fun.
I'll tell you, kids and everything, we got married at Chuck's.
According to Zola, the average wedding cost around $36,000. The price at Chuck's, $1,000, and they provide everything from the officiant to photographer, as well as flowers, cake, and of course, the champagne. Chuck just requires at least 24 hours notice. I wish that would have been around when I got married.
A lot cheaper, right?
A lot cheaper and a lot of fun.
In only 24 hours notice, Chuck can get it done like that, huh?
Yeah, he's got it all set up and ready to go.
And he leads the dancing, the second line, as they say.
He is part of the memory.
He is definitely part of the memory there. All right, that's it for us on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell. Thanks for watching. On the next Investigate TV Plus, invisible disabilities can sometimes lead to dangerous misunderstandings with police.
Who do you think you are?
We investigate why few police departments train officers to recognize communication challenges and solutions creating safer interactions between law enforcement and people with disabilities.